Hello, Ducks fans. Welcome to another episode of the Quack Report. My name's Carter. I'm joined by Nate. Oh, that fade always throws me off. It's a new thing that our streaming software has done. But
I kind of like it though.
it's nice. It's just not what I'm expecting. I'm expecting like, bam, here we are.
You're expecting the hard cut, yeah.
Yeah. How you doing today, Nate? You okay? You're looking a little blue.
The lights are a little dim, actually. I just got to realize that I wasn't that blue before we started.
That's yeah. There you go.
Oh, they weren't turned down, but I don't know why it's looking like this right now.
Yeah, I don't know. That works. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. It's just like when you lean back just a tad, you get more of the light on your face, but then when you lean forward, it like your camera adjusts and just
weird. I haven't done anything to. I don't know. There, I turned up the lights a little bit.
There you go. Just sit up to the table. You know, have some manners.
I try my best, man. Fuck.
Anyways, since I already asked you, but in a joking way, how are you doing today?
I'm all right. Just getting through the end of this semester. That's what we're.
Yeah.
That's the point we're at this point. So.
Yeah. Well, classes are done Wednesday, right? And then it's exams for a week and a half ish, and then that's it.
Yeah, I only have the one exam like in the time period. Everything is before the exam period.
That's all right then.
It is, but it also just like all gets crunched together, right? It's not really spaced out so much. So it's nice, but it's just a lot of pressure, I guess.
Yeah. So like you're done earlier in a way, but yeah, it makes for a lot of shit to do. So
yeah, and my last exam is like I can take it over a duration of 3 days. So like the earliest I could be done is the 12th. So
okay.
Yeah. We're getting there at least. So
yeah. Well, that's all right.
Yeah. So what about you, the working man? Yeah, and then Christmas.
I'm good. Just working and attempting to make money.
There you go.
Make enough money for Christmas. So
nice.
Yeah, which is good. I'm looking forward to that. It'll be lots of fun.
Yeah.
So, but unfortunately, once you enter the working world, you only get a few days off for Christmas, not like 3 weeks. And it sucks. I miss that. Like, can I quit my job in December and then just find a new one every January? It seems exhausting, but like, man,
it does.
Yeah. I missed it hasn't even happened yet, but I already missed the days of like 2 weeks off over Christmas.
Yeah,
like I minimum
how many
2 weeks. So
or I guess what do you get off?
I haven't
asked you yet.
Yeah, just the Monday, Tuesday, because Christmas is it the Sunday? Yeah, it's the Sunday this year.
Yeah.
So then I get the Boxing Day off for Monday and then the Tuesday off for Christmas, technically.
So you're telling me that when we meet up in our hometown, it's that like you're coming from work straight over to, I guess we haven't decided who's hosting our little get together, with our other medicine hat friends, but you're just gonna come straight there and just start pounding back. I love it.
Pretty much, yeah. and then oh no, yeah, and then it's Christmas Eve the next day. But yeah. But that's usually when we do our family dinner, which shouldn't be an issue to make, but you never know.
Depending on how the Friday night goes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but it'll be good.
We do tend to go hard for that. So
yeah, absolutely. It's always a good time. So, actually, off air, I've got to ask you some present questions.
All right. Sounds good.
We won't bore our audience with that. So, if you guys have any exciting, Christmas holiday traditions with family, friends, whatever, just feel free to let us know as well. Maybe you got some Ducks traditions, some Anaheim Ducks traditions. I mean, if you have like normal duck traditions, like what is it, the turducken? What's the turkey and the duck and the chicken and all stuffed in like those Russian dolls. Yeah. So if you do that, then cool. Yeah. So if you do that, cool. But if you got any like Ducks traditions, like, your family always goes and splurges on like the right behind the seats tickets for like the New Year's Eve game or something like that, then yeah, definitely let us know. Send some pics our way at Quack Report Pod, Twitter, Instagram. Is where you can do that. YouTube and Twitch at Quack Report Pod as well. If you just want to have a good old conversation, we live stream Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific on both of those platforms. It's always fun to hang out there. And what else we got? Oh, merch. If you're looking for some last minute holiday gifts for your friends and family, or for yourself, if you're into that as well, tqrshop.myspreadshop.com or .ca if you're up in Canada. Do we? I know we had a deal going on for 15% off. Is that what it was for?
That deal expires today, so Sunday.
Oh, okay. So by the time people hear this, they won't hear it. But
yeah,
we won't say that there won't be more deals coming down the pipeline in the future. But
I am taking a look. If you're international, unless you order premium or express shipping, it's a little late for Christmas. But I'm just gonna check for the States though in particular.
Yeah, I mean, you can always do the old print off the web page, put it in a box and wrap the box, and then be like, when it gets here, this is your present, but you don't actually get it right away.
Okay, so for Californians specific, you do still have time to get in for standard delivery even. Right now, the window for standard is the 9th to the 16th. So
there you go.
If you are looking for some of that though, just don't wait too much longer on it, I guess, or it's gonna be cutting it close. So yeah, I will I will hopefully have my new mighty TQR crew neck before before Christmas, so I'll be wearing it out on one of those episodes. So I went like the full purple on it.
Yeah, I saw that they ordered that. I'd seen the email notification. I was like, ooh, who's getting our mighty merch? And then I was like, is this maybe a little preview of what I might be getting? And then I saw that it was you. So but unless it's for me, maybe, I don't know.
No, it's for me. It's an extra large, dude. Come on.
I figured, but yeah. And then also just
unless you want to be swimming in it.
Actually, depending on the fit, I'll sometimes wear an extra large, mostly just for the length. But
fair enough.
It's got to be like the long extra large, not like the wide extra large, because sometimes I've bought those and then it's just like a crop top, but it's like all the way out to here on me. And like, that's not what I wanted. But depending on the place that I shop at, like if it's a more like quote unquote designer, not that I dress super fancy.
Yeah.
But if it's like a more quote unquote like designer place, then the extra large is usually what I get just for the length. So
there you go.
Yeah. Anyways, nobody probably cares about that unless they're planning on buying us Christmas gifts. So, and then also just a quick thank you to everyone who filled out our feedback form. It's we've closed it off now, but we got some great responses and we really appreciate the feedback. So thank you to everybody who took the time to give us that, and we will look over all the responses, and depending on how harsh you guys were, might just cancel the show with no notice, or we'll make some changes and or add some new things here and there, and see what you guys have said. So yeah, much appreciated for that. And I think that's all we got in terms of the administrative housekeeping stuff. So with that in mind, we are going to talk about some Ducks games that have happened recently. We're also going to talk not so much about a Ducks game that has happened recently, because what is there to say that we haven't said already, and why waste our time when we can talk about slightly more exciting things. And quick side note, we're recording this during the Jets game. It's currently 2-2. Number 54 on the Jets currently look quite unimpressed that he has tied up the game, unless they're reviewing it. Okay, so maybe it's not 2-2. I don't know what's going on. We will long story short, we have not experienced this game in full. And because we already have a couple games to talk about, we'll just push it to the next episode.
We will talk about the Jets game on Wednesday.
Yes, along with the Carolina game that will happen on Tuesday. So for this one, we're talking Stars and we're talking Wild. And we're going to start in Dallas. Actually, you know what? No. It's not even worth playing the theme song for. I'll save it for the Wild. Because 5-0 loss to the Dallas Stars. When was this game? Was Thursday? Yes. So I hadn't turned it on right away, and as soon as I think it was like 3-0 at the end of the first or something like that.
Yeah,
or
Yeah,
or 3-0 at
nothing.
some point, anyways.
Yeah, 3-0 at the
Obviously.
end of the first period, if I'm not mistaken, just off the top of my head. I don't really want to look at the stats or the game a whole lot more, to be honest with you. If I didn't have to talk about it today, I would have shut it off like halfway through the second period.
Yeah,
Like
and you
this
know what?
game was fucking horrendous.
Yeah, I'll even go a step further. Once I saw it was 3-0 because I just forgot that the Ducks were playing, I was like, you know what? This isn't worth my time. What am I going to
Yep.
take out of this? And what am I going to see that we haven't said already? Because, like,
Yeah.
unless the Ducks figured out a new way to disappoint me, but I really would
Oh,
be
maybe,
shocked.
maybe. You never know.
But even then, do I want to know what that is? Like, can we
either
just
way,
move on?
either way, you were just like, hey, I'll just let Nate deal with this. I'll just let Nate
Pretty much.
suffer on his own. It's all good. So,
Yeah.
in that case, I will even just take on this game on my own if you would like.
Be my guest. Yeah.
We will wrap up this entire Ducks game in, let's go minute and a half, 2 minutes. All right.
Okay. Sounds good.
You want to set a timer even for
I
it?
am. Yeah.
Let's see if I can. Let's see if like I'm not gonna like burn through this.
Oh yeah. I'll put a stopwatch
time
on just to see.
This is how little time I want to spend on this game.
Yeah.
And so for this season of the show, right? We know how the team. We had an idea what the team was going to be, right? We saw like the first few games, and we said that we were gonna try to pull out more positives out of this game, out of each game as a whole, right? Like we're going to touch on the negatives, obviously, but especially if there are things that are kind of repetitive, we're not going to talk about it as much, I guess. So unless it's like really, really bad for a game. Folks, this game was nothing but negatives. I could not find a single fucking positive about this game. The only positive, if you want to look at it this way, is that it was worse than the Ottawa Senators game just a couple nights before.
The only positive is that the game ended.
Exactly. I think actually that was something, if I'm not mistaken, that might have been something that the Ronarchy had commented, because at the end of each game on our Twitter account at Quack Report Pod, I will ask for a player of the game, right? Mm-hmm. And if I'm not mistaken, it was the Ronarchy on our Twitter who had said the clock for getting to 0-0-0-0.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that was him. I apologize if it's somebody else, but yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
it
was
a good
him.
chuckle about it. So
yeah. So all right, have you started the timer yet?
Yeah, you're going. You're like a minute 20, but
okay. Let's restart it here.
Okay, that doesn't count.
No, we'll add 15 seconds to it just for the
okay,
just for the what do you call it? This game is worse than the Ottawa one.
Okay,
we'll add 15 seconds for that.
Okay, you are on the clock.
All right. So the deserve to win-o-meter, as you know, we love the deserve to win-o-meter here from moneypuck.com on our channel here. 86.2% in favor of the Dallas Stars.
Oh, I thought that was Dallas Eakins in favor.
Now, I could end that here because that just pretty much sums it up altogether. But because some of you were able to turn off the TV, you're going to sit here and suffer through this with me unless you want to skip forward, which is totally fine. This is pre-recorded. The expected goals, 3.85 for Dallas, 1.43 for the Anaheim Ducks. That sounds like a more reasonable game, I guess, overall. Mm-hmm. Now, this game, just the Ducks did not come out to play whatsoever. The San Diego Gulls could have done better. And over this past weekend, which we'll get more in depth, I guess, on Wednesday, they lost both games to the Calgary Wranglers. No surprise. And I believe only scored 1 or 2 goals in the first game, got shut out last night on Saturday. That team could have done better than the Ducks did on Thursday against Dallas. It's fucking horrible. To be fair, holy shit, Jason Robertson is good at hockey. Just pointing that out. Cali boy,
not a question.
All right, like the guy's leading the league in scoring right now. He's doing fucking awesome.
What is he at? 23? Well, I guess he's played since this game, but he was at 23. Yeah, which is a goal a game. Is that not insane?
Yeah, it's nuts. So something else that is just nuts. Cam Fowler, who is not known for his shooting wildly, led the Ducks in expected goals in this game with his expected goal percentage, 43%. His expected goals at 0.67.
Which Cam for a defenseman
Fowler
is good.
led the expected goals, everybody. That shows you that something is seriously fucking wrong. Another stat that shows you that something is seriously fucking wrong. Kevin Shattenkirk led the team in shots in this game with 6.
Oof.
They were shitty shots, mind you, but he led the team with 6. All right. 10 individual players had a 1 or higher expected goals against on them individually. This is not a goal, like a goaltending goals against. It's like that they were on the ice expected to have a goal against. 10 players on the roster that night. Just brutal.
Out of 18 to be.
Yeah.
Or no.
Yeah.
Yeah, 18. 18 skaters.
And then it dropped to 17 because Isaac Lundstrom
right.
Yeah. Fractured his finger in the game. So speaking of Kevin Shattenkirk a little bit earlier, though, we're going to add Nathan Bolio to that because that line together had a combined time on ice 5-on-5 of 1346, had a goal against and an expected against of 1.5.
Hey, that's better than expected.
It's better than expected, but if you look at the expected, the next pairing was Fowler Kulikov at 0.735, who played about 2 minutes less.
How many goals did they have against, though?
None, I don't believe.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, well, maybe Bolio and Shattenkirk had the best, goals saved.
Yeah, no, they had none against.
Whatever. Okay.
They had none against. So,
wow.
continuing on here, Stollar's rocky game, considering like what we've seen this season, right? An 878 save percentage. That one's not the number that's glaring out. It's the negative 1.15 goal save above expected on 41 attempts, right? It's not normally what we're seeing out of Stollar's. The thing for me, though, 3 of the 5 goals were low danger attempts. Mind you, he did not really have any help in front whatsoever, as the entire area under the hash marks, the Dallas Stars were able to generate 5+ chances.
That's it.
Over the entire area under the hash marks between the circles.
Wow.
Fucking horrendous. To wrap this all up, I have this one statement here, and it does kind of lean into my thought process from the episode before, 2 episodes before, I guess. After everything this team has gone through and the losses that this team has had, even like this season, right? Like, sure, we've all been kind of calling for it. I don't care that the Dallas Stars were sitting 1st in the Central Division, 5th in the league heading into this game. This game was so fucking brutal that this game alone should be the reason that Dallas Eakins and the rest of his coaching staff are gone. There was nothing from anybody in this game at all. I don't care how the game against the Wild went, which had a lot more positives, but still glaring weaknesses that, yes, I get it. The team is rebuilding, right? But this was fucking awful. And again, I sat through this entire thing. I would have rather have been in my class, to be honest with you. And I suck with night classes. This was god awful. Absolutely brutal. So that's all I have to say about this game. We can move on to the Minnesota Wild game now, unless you have anything you want to add. But that was fucking bad.
Only thing I have to add is that was 5 minutes, 44 seconds. You said add 15 for the other part before, so 6 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and that was a lot less painful than 2.5 hours of actually watching the game. So
and I would not be surprised with the 3 and a little over a quarter seasons now that we've done, I guess. If that was the shortest that we've ever talked about a game at all.
Probably pretty close. That's for sure.
Yeah. And that's not even banging on those negatives. Like, this is what it was. It was fucking bad.
Yeah, and I mean, we've talked about all those things before anyways, right? So
the only sorry, I have one thing actually that's not in the notes. The only positive that came out of this game was the jersey matchup.
It was a sick matchup.
It was a great looking product, like visually appealing. The rest of it, though, unless you're a Stars fan, then you fucking love this game, right? Sarcastic Remarks are the Dallas Stars podcast and the Hockey Podcast Network there. They even like tweeted at us of like, man, we enjoyed this game, but like we feel bad for you guys. So shout out to those guys as well. Go check them out. But yeah,
Just go blow up their podcast
bad.
with 1-star reviews about how Jason.
No,
Robinson's
don't do
no.
that. Don't
Joking,
do that.
kidding.
All right, let's talk about the Minnesota Wild game a little bit more.
Okay. This game is actually deserving of that awesome pump up music. So, well,
as deserving as a loss is.
Yeah, in terms of the standard that the Ducks have set, this is deserving. Yeah. If this one was a 5-4 shootout loss to the Minnesota Wild, so Ducks not able to get it done in overtime, which obviously means you probably are going to lose. But overall, it wasn't a terrible game. Like, we gave a consistent effort through all 3+ periods, I would say. It really could have gone either way. It's just, honestly, I think that to sum this up in one sentence, since you tried to do that, you did it with the last game. If I could sum this one up in a sentence, it came down to the Wild having that, I don't even want to say veteran presence because they're still a pretty young team, but that experience of closing out games and playing without the lead, playing from behind, and just knowing what it takes to finish and get a win in the National Hockey League.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the Ducks have experienced players as well, but as a team, they don't have that experience. And I think that was kind of the difference in that, is just the difference in experience between the two teams. And that contributed to the Ducks' lack of ability to close this game out.
I think I would agree with that. So it's you do have those veteran guys, right? Like a Strome, Vetrano, Fowler on the back end. Hell, if you want to throw Shattenkirk in there, Gibson.
I guess Klingberg didn't play in this game, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess right. But then you do have a lot of young guys though that are leading a bit more of the charge, right? And your Zegras, Terry, McTavish, right? Like those younger guys for sure. So, or the guys that are like kind of up and down between the A and the NHL and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's a mix for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess when you're kind of at the point of relying a little more heavily on some of the younger guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
In certain times, we'll say that.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely not all the time. I can definitely, I can see your point for sure. So
yeah.
That was very long-winded. I apologize for that. I was trying to figure out what the hell I was saying.
Yeah, no, it took me a little bit to get there as well, so it happens. But I mean, I guess we'd start with some of the advanced stats that you have up here as well, just to give another general picture of the game.
Yeah, so this one was pretty even, to be honest with you. Anaheim at 51.8% in favor to win the game. The expected goals, Anaheim 4.57 to Minnesota's 4.2. Like, it was very close all around. Both teams were trading chances. The goaltending stats, at least in terms of like expected, are pretty close as well. I think both guys were just negatives. Or positives, I guess. Gibson was 0.2. And Gustafsson was 0.57. So nothing like crazy out of each guy, right? Like both just did their jobs well, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Both had some stellar saves in this game. Both goalies, like, from what I remember, faced quite like a fair number of shots and like good chances as well.
Yeah, Gibson, including the overtime, right? Gibson had 49 shots against and a .918 save percentage. To add to his, and then to add 4 penalty minutes,
right?
As well.
Yeah. which only 2 of them were because he got angry.
The other one had a lot of people going, that's a rule, including myself, actually. And I like to think I know the rules pretty well. Even that one, I was going like, wait a second, hold on. And I texted you, and like as I was texting you, I was pulling up the rule book actually to find it.
Mhm.
Which I did. I think I have it here. If you missed, I did share it on our Twitter as well. But if you guys didn't see it, the reason that John Gibson got a penalty with 9 seconds left in overtime
So,
there.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So yeah, rule 67.3, which is the section for minor penalty to a goalkeeper. The entire object or the object of this entire rule is to keep the puck in play continuously, and any action taken by the goalkeeper which causes an unnecessary stoppage must be penalized without warning. So 67 is under like delay of game. So a delay of game penalty shall be assessed to a goalkeeper who, then we're just going to jump down to subsection 3, throws the puck forward towards the opponent's net. Now, this one would be, this would have been disregarded had a Minnesota Wild player first touched the puck, which is in the note here in the rule book.
Until Anaheim had touched the puck, I think.
Yeah,
like it's still
Anaheim,
like the delayed thing, but is it not? Or did I maybe I misunderstood that part? But
oh no, you are right. It does just become a delayed penalty.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I just read it again. I was like, oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a penalty either way, I guess. But yeah, that was not something I guess you don't really normally see the goaltender like throwing the puck forward, I guess, too often. But it just kind of makes it the wording, I guess, kind of does make it that because you see goalies will like maybe not like overhand throw it like Gibson did, but kind of like toss it either to the side or behind the net, right? Especially in like the 80s, that was a big thing. And you see that a lot with overtime now, like with 3-on-3 overtime, right? You see that a lot. But yeah, I guess you don't normally see, kind of thinking about it, yeah, you don't normally see goalies throw the puck forward too often.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I've seen them like almost like the motion you do when you're bowling, right? Where you kind of underhand toss it, but it's more of like a roll or a slide. I'm trying to think of
or like a frisbee toss almost.
Yeah, just right? Like flicking the wrist, like something more underhand. I'm trying to think, and I feel like I have, but it might only have been in the context of like to the side or like maybe a little bit forward, but it's where the ref is like, obviously you're not trying to like, Hail Mary it down the ice. It's like a here you go. Or they'll throw it ahead of them and then hit it with their stick kind of thing. So it's it's a little different that way. But yeah, it's just I don't know. And also honestly, I think it was not even something Gibson was planning to do, because I think he was going to play the puck as a goalie normally would. But I don't even know who it was. Somebody was pressuring him, and then he kind of went to dodge it. And then as his arm was up, he was like, "Oh, I might as well just throw it." And then
okay, like I did. That's kind of what it looked like. Connection on there, so
yeah. So it was just a weird play overall. 9 seconds left in overtime. It's not really going to matter. Like, yeah, we were on the power play, but we would have had chance for a rush going the other way. Maybe
3-on-3. That's all it did. So
yeah. So like, not the end of the world.
The downside to it is that you're giving the other team a offensive face off, right?
Yeah.
So that's the only that's a negative side to it, I guess. But 9 seconds, they were able to make it work. So if anybody's curious as to the other 4 reasons that a goalie would have the delay of game, holds the puck with his hands for longer than 3 seconds unless he is actually being checked by an opponent. So that's where you get your puck freezes from. Deliberately holds the puck in any manner which, in the opinion of the ref, causes an unnecessary stoppage. Drops the puck into his pads or onto the goal net. Or and this one I read it and I started laughing right away, actually, and I'll say in a second. Deliberately piles up snow or obstacles at or near his net that, in the opinion of the ref, would tend to prevent the scoring of a goal. Now, I laughed at that part right away because I thought right away to a application of this that the refs got ahead of before play started. I think this was when Marc-Andre Fleury was still in Vegas, I think it was. And they had pulled him for I don't know if it was like a like kind of like a similar situation to Minnesota where there was like an offensive chance in overtime, so they threw him on the bench kind of thing, or just like just to get the extra attacker to tie it up or something like that. Anyway, before he had left though, he did take the paddle and just put like a line of snow at the top of the crease.
Just to like
It,
slow
it
the puck
wasn't
down.
it wasn't a whole lot, but like just kind of with the idea of slowing the puck down. And the refs saw it, went over to the bench and like told Fleury, like, no, dude, you can't do that. And they like brushed it away.
Yeah.
And then Fleury like has his glove over his face, and you can just like he's just hiding his laughing basically.
Yeah.
He's like, oh fuck, I got caught kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
like just right away my mind went to, oh yeah, I've seen that before, but because they caught it before play started, no penalty on the play. So
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's funny. Like I even had to chuckle at like the dropping it down your pads one, because I was like, there's no way that somebody thought of that and they're like, oh, we better put this in here because goalies are sneaky little bit like bitches, right? It's like somebody had to have done that like way back in the day, and they were like, fuck, get the pencil out, like we gotta add this in.
Part. Yeah, exactly. So
but yeah, when you actually get into the rule book, there's some funny like little sub notes in there. But
there's so like out of those two, there's like the drop the pucks and like drops the puck into his pads, where I'm like, yeah, okay. The petty one though is onto the top of the net.
Yeah.
Just the show of no, we're not doing this.
Yeah. To get back to this game though, the lots of players had fantastic games. I mean, who else besides the THZ line, Terry, Henrique, Zegras, and Mason McTavish as well, having phenomenal stats. They all looked great. And I mean, that's really the only way Ducks are going to be in a game, I think, is when those guys are going, because that's your top line plus your fourth best player, probably. Well, arguably third best player over Henrique, but
the THZ line, all between 70.7 and 74.4% for their expected goals, expected goal percentage. The line itself had the highest expected goals for at 5-on-5 with 0.482, which you would like for that to be a little bit higher, but you know,
when the bar is this low, that's pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. So, and with how penalties were like kind of stacked on each other with like 4-on-4s and that kind of thing, right? Like it does as much time, I guess. So, how much time did that line have actually at 5-on-5? They had 12:24, and that's leading forward lines for the Ducks on 5-on-5. So that gives you an idea. Like normally you're seeing that for 15 minutes or more kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
I mean, those guys still got the time on the ice, just on the power play rather than 5.
Yeah.
5. So
exactly. So for that entire line, add an extra minute 50. In power play time. So and Mason McTavish led in the expected goal percentage category. Like again, this guy is just buzzing around the net. Just couldn't put the puck in, but he did still manage to get 2 assists on the night. The fact that the guy had 2 shots in the game and his expected percentage was 86.81.
Yeah, right.
And his expected goals of 2.13. Just had great chances and got robbed, unfortunately, on them. So
this phenomenal game by Mason McTavish.
McTavish is looking really good, and he got decent time as well in this game as well. He got a little over 50 seconds of power play time, and which isn't a whole lot, but it was the THZ line with Fowler got a minute 50. McTavish got, I think it was 53 seconds off the top of my head, and nobody else had power play time. Like I said, like the penalties were all like coincidental and stacked and that kind of thing. So
and we actually had power play goals too.
So 2 of them. So the minutes were odd. So, but the fact that we'll say those 4 guys, if we're eliminating McTavish from the equation, the guys that specifically got exactly a minute 50 of power play time in that time got 2 goals.
Yeah,
there you go. That's a lot better.
Against not a bad penalty kill either. I think when I looked last night, or I guess yesterday afternoon during the game, they were like 9th, I want to say. In the Wild were in penalty kill. So as we talked about last time, where we were only seeming to score against the worst penalty kills in the league. We actually got a couple goals against a really good penalty kill. So that's going to be good confidence-wise for the team moving forward, or for the special teams moving forward. But
Yeah,
we shall see what happens if that carries over, I guess.
Yeah, if you want to look at one thing for the offense overall, we'll say, whether it's on the power play or 5-on-5, however you want to look at it, all 4 Ducks goals, actually first 2 of them were rebound goals, so that's getting in front of the net and creating, like, getting chances off the second opportunity there.
Yeah,
all 4 goals were high danger chances. That's what
good.
you want to see.
Yeah, you want to
sure.
see them capitalizing on those opportunities. Absolutely. Yeah.
So, and having, 7 high danger shot attempts even, and capitalizing on 4 of them. That's good. I like to see that. So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, what else do we have here? A positive but a negative, I guess, almost depending on how you want to look at it. The power play was the thing that, like, really kept us in this game scoring wise. Like we said, they capitalized on 2 of 3 chances, but when 2 of your 4 goals are on the power play, right? Whereas for Minnesota, they went 1 for 2 on the night. Yeah, like I said, you can look at that as a positive, but also as a negative in a way. I don't know.
Maybe I have a tendency to look at it more as a positive because this team's power play has been so bad over the last couple of years.
Too. Yeah,
but I do think to some extent the difference between a like an average team in the NHL and a good or a really good team, like a contender, perennial contender kind of. I really think the difference between those two is a good special teams. Like, yeah, obviously you want like 5-on-5 scoring to be good. You want your penalty kill to be good. You want your power play to be good, all that stuff. But when you're looking at average teams like those bubble teams or those wild card teams, and compared to like division champs or like the guys that are in contention for those, I really do think that over the course of a season, the teams that are higher up in the standings generally are the better like special teams or power play teams. And I have no stats to back that up. That's really just like kind of my belief, I guess. My theory that if you don't have a good power play, you're not going to be one of those top teams in the NHL. You would have to just be an absolute anomaly where like you were just disgusting at 5-on-5. But I think with the salary cap and parity and all that stuff, it's really hard to have that far and away better 5-on-5 scoring than the majority of the league. You can definitely have worse 5-on-5 scoring.
Yeah.
But once you hit those average teams, everyone's kind of in the same ballpark. So that's where the power play really steps up. So not saying that, oh, we went 2 for 3 on the power play, sick. This means we're like a cup contender, because look at where we are. Look all the way to the bottom. There we are, right? But if our power play does start to click, having a good power play, even when the Ducks are as bad as they are, will really help us in the future as we're building the chemistry with the team and getting better at 5-on-5, because it's just kind of one less thing to worry about. So, yeah. Anyways, long story short, I think it's a positive for multiple reasons there.
Yeah, exactly.
And if your power play can win you games, you're doing well. So,
yeah. I don't know. Let's see what else we got. Let's go back to Cam Fowler.
Sure.
Power play goal for this guy. Is
that his first of the year? First power play goal of the year?
I believe his first power play goal of the year. Let me double check that. But yeah, he's got 3 goals and 13 points on the season now. So
nice.
Yeah, like we said, or like I said during the Dallas part of the show, not really known for his shooting, right? So, but Fowler just kind of, you just let that one rip there on the power play, right?
He does have a power play goal against St. Louis on the 19th. That was it doesn't even, it's not even showing me the score here unless I'm blind, but one of the games against St. Louis.
Sorry. Okay. I'm taking a quick sidetrack from this game here because just St. Louis, we know I'm not a fan, especially of, and I don't think a lot of people are at this point. Jordan Bennington.
Oh, sorry, hold that thought. It's coming up later.
It's
I've
coming
got
up.
it in. It is coming up later. So
Okay.
the little tease for everybody.
Did you have it? Oh yeah. Okay, now I see it. I didn't
Yeah.
see that you put that in there. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. All right, I will bite my tongue until then.
Yeah.
He's kind of reminded me, and I'm like, I want to fucking vent here for a second.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a discussion. So
Okay, sounds good.
yeah, I figured because I knew it was going to come up again later, we could postpone.
All right, let's speed this up then to get to that. The shootout lineup wasn't horrible. I guess if
Shattenkirk is in the lineup and he's not playing in the shootout. It's great.
If you want to have like a slighted positive in a way
towards Dallas Eakins.
Yeah. Zegras, McTavish, and Strome were the three guys who shot. Zegras had going into this, Zegras had a goal and 2 points on the night and an expected goals of 1.654. So Zegras was feeling it for this game as well.
Oh yeah.
McTavish, obviously we were talking about him earlier. He was around the net, right? He didn't score on his attempt, unfortunately, but again, guy had 2 assists on the night. Still a great game out of him. And Ryan Strome also didn't score on his attempt, but had a goal earlier in the game as well. So yeah, like that was a solid lineup, I think, to put out there. Honestly,
that's probably who I would have picked. Yeah,
if you went to the 4th round, would have been Terry. Would have been my hope.
Yeah.
I guess,
oh yeah.
Next,
how did I forget about Terry? Yeah. I mean, yeah, because you do want to save those good guys for the later rounds if it does get to that point. So I think that was actually a smart play to save Terry for that 4th round.
Yeah,
but.
and
from what I remember, he's not like fantastic in the shootout either.
He's not fantastic, but he
scores, but he's not like it's not like Zegras, who's basically the closest thing to a lock for the shootout that you can get.
Zegras loves his move. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. How many times is he going to do that and score on it? And and goalies just don't figure it out. Like
off the top of my head, he's already done it 3 times, twice against San Jose. I'm trying to remember the game against Boston because that one went to a shootout also.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back and look, but like,
yeah, it was too long ago to remember.
At least 3 of 5 that I'm thinking of, he did the exact same move and scored on it. So
yeah,
I fucking love it. Yeah, I don't know what else to. Okay, I guess to kind of round it off for myself, the team did play a lot. I mean, the bar was pretty fucking low after Dallas.
Oh yeah,
but the team did play a lot better, a lot tighter, just overall defensively, offensively, just everywhere. There's the bad bounce off of Jones for the first goal against that. Actually, what was it? I think it was off of Leeson on the cross, on the cross pass the blue line. It might not have been Leeson. It went off somebody there. Then so ricocheted off one duck, came back, hit Jones in the skate and went into the net. You couldn't draw that up if you wanted to, right?
Yeah.
Shit happens, right? It sucks that of course it's the first goal against the Ducks, right? But that was the one where I was just like, I saw it again and I was like, yeah, no, never mind.
Yeah,
but just kind of what we were talking before of just to close out a game there. Yeah, this team just cannot hold a lead to save their lives when we've seldomly had one this season. Ducks had 2 leads in this game. The longest one was the first one for 6 minutes and 26 seconds. That's it. So which was the up 3-2 to tied 3-3. That was from the 19-minute mark of the second period to the 5:26 mark of the third period.
Yeah, okay.
5 minutes 26 seconds into the third period.
Which again I think is more of a credit to the Minnesota Wild and just their dominance. We said they're only they were out of a wild card spot and now they're in a wild card spot. I think second in the in the West. But I think they just had a bad start and they're on a tear now. I think as we're recording, that last I saw they were up 4-1, 5-1 now against the Dallas Stars, who just shit stomped us and have been doing the same thing to the rest of the league for a good part. So the Wild are starting to figure it out again, and
currently 6-3-1 in their last 10.
Yeah, there you go. So they
will probably be higher, I guess.
Yeah,
7. something and something in their last 10 is my guess without actually looking at it and
Yeah.
figuring it out beforehand.
Look,
But
either way, they're a lot better of a team than their record is showing. The fact that we were even in this game at any point is astounding to me
the fact that this
personally.
was an
But
even game throughout it, pretty
yeah,
much.
right. And it's not like the Wild had a bad game because Gibson faced 49 shots too, right? But like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that the inability to hold a lead is as much of a credit to the Minnesota Wild's ability to erase a deficit as it is the Ducks' inability to hold a lead. So
Yeah.
both of those are at play, but yeah, it was not expected to be a win. The fact we got a point out of it, I'm happy.
Moral
guess.
victories.
Well, yeah, for a rebuilding team, you know what? We'll take it.
Yeah.
And again, especially considering the massive goose egg that we laid in against Dallas. So
Yeah. Fucking Kaprizov, man.
dude's so good, man.
The one who tied the game at 4 there with like 2.5 minutes left. I love watching that guy until he's playing Anaheim or Calgary.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
yeah. It's kid's good. It's absolutely nuts to watch him play. And yeah.
Can we call him kid? I think he's the same age as us.
Yeah, you're right. It's just weird because he only came into the league a couple years ago. 2 years? 3 years? 3 years ago. This is his third year. But yeah, no, he's the same age.
I'm pushing at calling him kid because I'm a January and he's in April.
Yeah. So there you go.
What, 4 months on him?
Yeah. What day in April?
26th.
Okay. Yeah. Wild. Absolutely insane. I always forget like how old like some of these players are and like how young some of them are too. So it's just like weird that some of them are the same age as us.
Yeah, I had a what was it? I was looking at something for Connor Bedard today. I was checking out.
Yeah.
And like saw that he's like a 2005.
Yeah, like what?
And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, my sister turns 18 in 15 days as of this recording.
Mm-hmm.
So like that already is like the fuck. And then it's like, oh yeah, no, like kids my sister's age are getting drafted into the NHL. And I'm like, okay. No.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's wild. Yeah, well, we were talking about Connor Bedard in a group chat.
Yeah.
That we're in. So I think I know that's why I think you were looking up his age potentially. But yeah, it's just nuts that the kid's only 17 and like he's basically like the like half of the revenue stream for the WHL right now. Like,
yeah, there was
it's crazy.
When was it? Was it last week? I think a reporter had asked the GM/coach of the Regina Pats, where Bedard is playing right now, if he was considering trading for him, because you do get that. I mean, we even saw it with Mason McTavish between was that Peterborough and Hamilton there.
Yeah.
For junior hockey, if you trade a guy like that to a team that is trying to push for like a national championship, right? Trying to push for the Memorial Cup, those teams get a lot back. Like if you think of like trades in the NHL that are like massive, like, oh, you're getting like a shit ton of draft picks and prospects, maybe like a couple roster guys even, right?
Yeah.
Junior trades are just unworldly if you're trading somebody like let's even just look at like Mason McTavish kind of thing, right? Actually, you know what? Let me try to find what that trade was actually here. Just so we know.
Yeah, because it was a good haul.
Yeah. And then take whatever you would get. Like, this isn't even a slate of McTavish. This is just a like how good Bedard is, the junior level at least. Take probably whatever McTavish is here that I'm about to read and double or triple it and change some of the picks here to first round picks.
Yeah.
All right. So between the Hamilton Bulldogs and the Peterborough Petes, this was, when was this? January 9th of 2020 here, or 2022. Sorry. So Hamilton received Mason McTavish. All right. That's
Yeah.
what they got. They got their guy. The Petes received 2 roster players in Jonathan Maley and Alex Farend, if I'm saying that right.
Okay.
And then the picks are as follows: a second round in 2022, another second round in 2022, 2 third rounds in 2023, a third round in 2024, and a conditional fourth in 2025.
Wow.
Now, Bedard will get a shit ton more
Yeah.
than that. He will get like whatever first round picks that team has for the next like 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Probably
Right.
some
And
seconds in
second
there as well. Like,
and third round picks, right?
yeah.
On top of like some roster guys. So
Mhm.
for junior, you can get a lot for these guys that are about to get like that are about to not really be around anymore, I guess.
Yeah.
And so anyway, yeah. So the GM coach was asked about that, and he basically just said like, "Fuck no, we're not."
Yeah. Right.
So, and which like I don't know, it seemed kind of split actually between between Pats fans, because
Mhm.
it was like, well, like that would really set us up, like the team up for the future.
Yeah.
And then the other half was going like, yeah, but he also knows that if he does that, revenue for this season especially drops dramatically.
Yeah. If they do
So
trade him, it's going to be, I think the trade deadline's January-ish for the
yeah,
for those the junior leagues. If they do, it'll be like the day before, so they can milk as much possible revenue as they can
yeah.
for Pat's games, and then they'll send him somewhere else. They,
And
they actually talked about it
I'm
on 32 Thoughts. There's a really good
oh,
discussion
did they
on
actually?
that.
Okay.
Yeah, if you haven't had to
I've
listen
been
to it, but
behind on it, so
yeah, no, and anyone else listening as well would recommend they have, especially because Jeff Merrick is very in tune with the junior
the junior
league.
scene, yeah.
He provides some really good insight there that I could just regurgitate, but I could also just say go listen to that and we could talk about something else.
Yeah. I am hoping to because like the guy plays in the league that like is constantly around us, right?
Yeah.
And I will be actually just like an hour away from Regina over Christmas, actually, or for like just
Oh, that's
after
right.
Christmas, visiting my
Yeah.
girlfriend's family. So I did ask her already, and like we were looking at it, we just hadn't like bought tickets yet. I think we were just trying to see if her sister and husband wanted to go with us, or like just kind of like see if anybody wanted to go with us first before we bought tickets.
Mhm.
But I did say, hey, so the Pats are playing the Brandon Wheat Kings, which we will bring up as well, by the way, later in the show. I was like, they're playing on the 28th. You think we could go to Regina and watch this game so I can go see Bedard for $30 before I have to pay minimum $100 to go see him?
100.
That'll be for press level tickets in like Calgary or something like
Oh
that.
yeah, exactly. Because
But
Christ, the scalpers will be all over that.
oh,
It's like as soon
100%.
as the tickets go on sale, every single game Bedard is in, they're
Yeah,
buying up those tickets, quadruple the price.
100%.
Yeah,
It'll be
and
the equivalent of like McDavid coming to town or Crosby or Ovechkin.
yeah. Oh
Right?
God, could you imagine the price for like say Bedard going to Edmonton or like Bedard going to
Yeah,
Pittsburgh or Pittsburgh coming to wherever Bedard goes? Like those matchups of like Bedard and then McDavid, McKinnon, Crosby, Ovechkin, like other star players.
yeah,
It's going to be absolutely nuts. Just
yeah,
insane prices for those
exactly.
tickets.
So,
Like we're talking like
Bedard,
hundreds for the nosebleeds even.
yeah, if he doesn't get selected by Vancouver, Bedard going to Vancouver will be a massive ticket because he's from the area, right? So,
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah. So if again, I'm really hoping that we grab these tickets. We just haven't like done it yet, basically.
Yeah.
So should we go to this game? I will be taking a Ducks jersey, taping Bedard 98 to it.
Fuck, get him to sign it. Just hang it over the glass during warm-ups.
Get him to sign the piece of tape.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I will be yeah, I'll grab some pictures and post them on like the TQR account or something like that.
That'd be good.
Is there a Ducks game on the 28th actually? I might not be tweeting about those games. I might be just tweeting about hopeful Anaheim Duck Connor Bedard, who is keeping tabs on us because I think somebody had noticed
us as in the Quack report, or us as in the Anaheim Ducks?
As in the Anaheim Ducks. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Because he is kind of keeping tabs. I think it was on the NHL account or the Ducks account. One of them had shared Zegras' shootout move, and somebody noticed that he was one of the likes in there. So he's keeping an eye out as to who he might go to. So and
Some
again,
people have way too much time, man. That's
well, it does just show like on Instagram, it does show like any mutuals who liked it. It'll show you like a few, and then if you just click into the likes, it'll pop up with like who you know, like the first kind of thing.
Yeah,
so,
I guess. Yeah.
But or who you follow, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I still think like Bedard would be the perfect fit. Like stepping back from talking about the Ducks so much, Bedard would be a great fit in Anaheim just for the guys that like he's played with for international tournaments and that kind of thing, right? Yeah. And the type of skill that's going to be coming up through the Anaheim Ducks ranks.
Oh, for sure. So. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, we'll get to that a little bit later, along with some conversation about Mason McTavish too. So, yeah. But I think, I mean, we haven't talked about this game for the last 10 minutes, so I'm assuming we're done with it. So I think,
yeah, I think we are. Yeah, the last thing I had was just like they can't hold the lead. So yep, we're all good on the Minnesota game.
Okay, in that case, let's take a quick break here, and then on the other side, we'll hit some news, upcoming games, and then as Nate mentioned, we've got some Brandon Wheat Kings related bonus What's Quacking for Sunday here. So we'll see you guys in just a minute here. Hockey fans, light the lamp this winter with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. New customers can bet just $5 pre-game money line on any NHL team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. If that wasn't enough excitement, you can turn small bets into bigger payouts with same-game parlays. Combine multiple bets like which team will win, how many goals will be scored, and more for your shot at an even bigger payout. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code THPN, bet $5 on any NHL team to win their game, and get $150 in free bets if they do. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code THPN. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. All right, so we have more injuries to talk about. Yay, injuries. John Klingberg placed on IR on Friday with a lower body injury. He has not played this game against Winnipeg is his 5th game out, so it's been over a week now. I guess here I have the games up. So he last played against the Ottawa Senators. Is that right?
Think so.
Or yeah. Would be the Senators, or left that game. I don't remember exactly how it is, but still not sure what's going on there. All we know is lower body injury. He was day to day. With him being on an IR, it's really just a move that they did because he was out for longer than a week. So yeah, he did it. He can come back whenever. Still, it doesn't change anything.
Day to day change to IR. That's okay. This is a lot worse than we thought.
Yeah. I guess the only benefits you get from IR is the ability to call guys up from the AHL to add onto your roster. Is that right? Because if he's day to day, he still counts against your 23-man roster. Yeah. But if he goes on IR, he doesn't. Is that it? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, sorry. Okay, I think you're right against the roster, and then I think it's against the cap is when they go it's
LTIR against the cap. Yeah. Yeah, and then Isaac Lindstrom placed I don't know if it's IR, but he's out with a fractured finger for 6 weeks after blocking a shot against the Dallas Stars there. So tough luck for him. Sucks that he's going to miss out on some time because I thought he was looking good so far this season. But yeah. Tough nubs, one might say. Any thoughts on those guys being out? I don't know.
I don't know. I guess like Klingberg is. I'm like on the fence about it. because it's a veteran
Yeah.
guy that's out, but at the same time, hasn't been great, so maybe it's okay. I don't know. Lundestrom though has been solid on that third line, especially though, so that does kind of suck to see him out for the next 6 weeks. But I don't know. The only way I can really look at it now is just, well, whatever helps us get better odds of Bedard, right? So
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to look for man games lost due to injury. The best place for it, unfortunately, you have to pay for it, which makes sense because it's a job to track that stat. But the closest I can look at for like in terms of it's just like their Twitter account, and they have a bubble size like chart, which is representative of the total quality of players lost. And the Anaheim one is you basically can't even see it, but like
oof,
which is tough. But like when you look at the
punch.
like when you look at the guys that have come out or have been out injured, it's like Klingberg, who has not had a fantastic season. It's Drysdale, who he doesn't have like that solid background of like underlying numbers, and he's a rookie, so it's hard to evaluate there. And then like beyond that, it's been like guys that you've been calling up. So like it's just guys you would not expect to have those big numbers. Oh, I guess actually, sorry, the x-axis of this graph has total man games lost to injury. It's actually sitting kind of about in the middle. Toronto, Washington, and Philadelphia
So
with the most at around 160. Anaheim is about
160 man games already.
Yeah. To be fair, Philadelphia has Ryan Ellis.
Okay. Sorry, I guess I'm thinking for like who else did you say? The Leafs, and you'd said somebody
the Leafs
else,
and
right?
Washington. Washington's lost Connor Brown, and Backstrom has been out with a hip injury since like last season.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
And then probably evidently other players as well. I'm trying to think on Toronto as well.
The Leafs lost both like Murray and
Samsonov
for a while. Yeah, like
Muzzin's been out for a bit.
Yeah, Muzzin. Other guys on their blue line as well. Morgan Riley, I think, is still out if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's a lot on their back end, basically, is what it is. So
yeah,
but
yeah. Oh, actually, here they have. This is as of December 2nd. They have the top 5 teams for man games lost due to injury and health protocols. Toronto at 166, Washington and Philly tied with 162, Montreal 136, and Carolina 133.
That just feels like a lot of games for the quarter mark of the season, I guess.
Yeah, but those teams do have guys who are on LTIR, which I think they still count as well. But and then the bottom 5 for perspective: New York Islanders at 10, Nashville 18, the Rangers at 21, Pittsburgh at 29, and Dallas at 38. So Anaheim's kind of right in the middle at around that 80, 85 mark. It just feels like we're missing a lot, but I guess it's just a lot of injuries, but not a lot of time for each of those guys. Yeah. Besides Drysdale, of course. So yeah. It just feels like that's
going to keep climbing with Drysdale.
Yeah.
So, which I like thinking back to that, just with like a lot more time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do I want him to play and continue to develop? Yes. But do I want him to just make sure he's okay? Yes. So please just sit. As much as it hurts me to say, just sit him for the season.
Yeah. Well, what, you're going to bring him back early for like the last 10 games of the season when the Ducks have been out of a playoff spot for like the last 3 months already? No, that doesn't make sense. Like, why would you rush him back?
At that point, they'll have been out of a playoff. They'll be out of playoff contention since week 2 of the season.
Yeah, sorry, I meant mathematically out since January. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm just going with there's no chance in hell. Like,
yeah. So yeah, just it seems bad, but it's like the old somebody else has it worse.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, but like obviously we've lost some key players or a lot of young players whose development is getting stunted, and now with Lundestrom out, for 6 weeks as well. That cumulative man games lost to injury will climb.
Yeah.
But that it really sucks for him and his development. But
Yeah.
Anyways, I think we can move on from that. So I'm glad I found the data because I was looking beforehand. I was like, I can just leave it. And then as soon as it came up again, I was like, I can't. So we had promised that we would talk more about McTavish as well as Bedard just before the break here. The Team Canada World Junior roster is allegedly going to be announced, the preliminary one of like however many guys that they're inviting to camp. Projected to be announced on Monday. This is coming from Elliot Friedman and Jeff Merrick on their Saturday 32 Thoughts.
Yeah. So as we're talking about
thing.
this, it might be dropped already.
Yeah, exactly. So Dylan Guenther with Arizona is expected to be invited, as well as Shane Wright, who we've talked about before, and that's kind of the expectation with him. As well, future Ducks players in Olin Zellweger and Connor Bedard will most likely be allowed to go as well.
Well, this future Duck Connor Bedard. It's not even like potential, just future Duck.
Future Duck. They didn't talk about Mason McTavish though, and I am kind of torn on whether or not he should go, because on one side of the coin, let him go, play with Team Canada, guys that he has played with before and has chemistry with, as well as future Ducks players in Olin Zellweger and Connor Bedard that he can continue to develop with. Also, just let him go dominate in guys that are of his own age, get that confidence up, all that stuff. That's one side of the coin. The other side is he's doing well in the NHL. He's, especially as of late, he's doing good things, and he is getting valuable experience out of playing on the Ducks roster. So what's more beneficial at this point?
Where are we? This is a weird way that this is led right now. Let's take a look here. Oh, no, that's not what Okay, no, we are not looking at NBC Sports for that. What the hell?
I do have his game logs and his stats pulled up here.
I was just trying to pull up like the rookie points on just like
on that. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Where are we? We do have rookie. There we go. Points. There we go. Mason McTavish is currently sitting 4th in rookie scoring with 13 points there. Cole Perfetti is ahead at 15. Matthias Maselli. Am I saying that right?
I think so. I don't know. Yeah.
With 16 there. And then Matty Beniers shot off since we last talked about this. 21 points now.
Wow.
Guy's got 10 goals and 11 assists. God damn.
Dude, that was a week ago. He was at 15, I feel. That's nuts.
Jeez. So yeah, like McTavish is still like in the hunt there, I guess, right? To be a top rookie guy, to try to go for a Calder Trophy. This is the case though, where it's, does a Calder look great on your resume kind of moving forward in the NHL? Sure. But how old Anaheim Ducks GM Brian Burke, he pushed for guys to, like, even if they weren't overly wanting to themselves, he pushed for them to go to these international tournaments and like gave them the chances to do it. Right. So like just a hypothetical, if we didn't have Pat Verbeek, we had Brian Burke as the GM. McTavish, this wouldn't even be a question. McTavish would be going, I think, to the World Juniors. Just because he thought that it was just valuable experience for those players, right? Just to, one, play with other guys, but to experience like international play, because it is different, and it's best on best, right?
Yeah.
Depending on the NHL at the Olympics, I guess, really. But like other than that, right? It's of whatever level of international play it is best on best, right?
Yeah. And for the big 5 teams in Canada, US, Sweden, Finland, Russia, you are,
and Germany's kind of starting to climb into that now.
Yeah, you can start to throw them in there as well, for sure. But you're definitely in that mentality of, we're going for a championship. Like every one of those teams in any given year has the potential to win a gold medal. So and because it's so condensed and right from the get-go, you're like every game matters, then you're developing that championship mentality, regardless of how well the team in the NHL is doing that you're on. So with McTavish, he's not getting that, but he goes and plays for Team Canada. He is getting that championship mentality. The only reason I can think of for holding him back in the NHL, and then given what you said about Brian Burke, and I 100% agree with that. Go get that. Like, it's great experience at the international level, championship team, playing best on best, like, and dominating there. It's great for confidence and all that stuff.
Sorry, I think over Christmas I will finally have the time. That's the book I'm reading next, is Brian Burke's book.
Oh yeah.
I got that book for last Christmas. That just shows you like how much time I've had to like just sit down and read something that's not like a hockey article, I guess. So
but so I think all that stuff is valuable, but McTavish has already gotten that. He's played in at least 2, maybe 3 World Junior tournaments. He's played in the Olympics. He's played in 2.5 to 3.5 World Juniors, because he played those couple games in the COVID canceled bubble tournament in Edmonton, the one that just the one that popped quite
it's
explosively. So like, does he need that anymore? Like, yes, that experience is valuable in whatever amount, but that with him, I'm at the point of like, he's already got that. Maybe the NHL experience is better for him at this point.
Yeah, it's like 3 weeks to a month that he would be missing, right? Because you do like a bit of the like pre-game, like pre-tournament stuff, right? With like camps and whatever. And you would like you would have the tournament, and like you're done in the second week of January.
Yeah,
we haven't had a normal one in so long, so I kind of forget actually.
Yeah, from what I remember, the last like tournament, like round robin game is usually around New Year's Eve, because that's when they go for the big rivalry matchups. And then it's about a week after that to do semifinal or quarterfinals, semis, and then gold and bronze, and then get back to your team. It's about a week. So yeah, it is about a month that you missed.
Yeah. So okay. So now, is that month for development purposes, right?
Yeah.
Like outside of confidence and domination, whatever, just for development purposes, 1 month with different guys, but like international leaders, I guess. Is that better?
McTavish is this international leader.
Yeah, I guess like with others, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I guess like when I say that, I guess I'm meaning like coaches and that kind of thing,
of
right?
course. Yeah.
Would it be better for him to just do a month even with those guys, right? Or would it be better for him to continue to play in the NHL and keep working like in NHL games, I guess, to develop that kind of stuff and be around just the NHL personnel as a whole, right? And that doesn't have to be, you know, Dallas Eakins and like the assistant coaches necessarily, right? That could be you know, video coaches, the training the training staff, the
just other players like Zegras, Cam Fowler, John Gibson,
even down to
like anybody,
down to like nutrition people, right? Like just being around them constantly, because like especially for like the nutrition and training, he's gonna be on the phone with them or whatever, but like actually being there in person to discuss or do things like with them, right? Like sacrificing that for a month to work with like the leaders in your home country kind of thing, like just what is better for him developmentally. And that's where I'm kind of actually stuck on this a little bit. So
me too. Yeah, I really don't know.
If we're looking at it from a confidence standpoint and just to like kind of maybe get him more going, I'm leaning a bit more towards the Canada thing. Yeah. Unless Dallas Eakins is gone, you bring some new life into there. Okay, maybe we're having a different conversation here, right? And again, it seems to in some form come down to that plus something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of torn about it. Just like I know I'm really just like thinking out loud here about this, but yeah,
Mhm.
like I'm
Yeah.
I'm kind
There
of
is
torn about
definitely
it.
there is merit to both sides, as there always is, but generally I would say, like, for guys like Shane Wright, Dylan Gunther, who really are playing in the NHL and expected to be going to the Team Canada training camps, it makes sense because um, they're having success at the NHL level, but they haven't necessarily had that international experience yet, whereas McTavish has. So I think that's kind of the difference here, really, is like, can he take any more out of that um, international experience, or is he kind of just good? And maybe that's why we haven't heard anything, because it's up to him. It's not really up to Pat
Yeah,
Verbeek. I think I like to think Pat Verbeek would be like, "Hey, you want to go?" And then if McTavish says yes, then okay, you can go. If
yeah.
McTavish says no, okay, you can stay here. But I I don't know. I think it's up to McTavish, and I don't know how he thinks. So
One more thing I thought about.
yeah,
McTavish was the captain of Team Canada this past summer.
yeah,
He would be the captain again,
hmm,
right? Not that it's like a continuation thing, just Mason McTavish would be the guy to captain Team Canada for the World Juniors. Development wise as well, I guess just overall, could it be better to have him in that role again?
that's a good point.
Because
Yeah,
like you said, like he is like he would be one of the leaders, right? And obviously he's got the C on his chest, right?
yeah.
Could that even be good for his game overall?
Yeah, that's true. I think there's definitely that benefit.
Because
Just
if you're
going
looking
and
at the long term of him
mhm,
being an Anaheim Duck, right?
yeah,
He is one of the guys that you're going to be looking at down the line for that for that
yeah,
leadership, right? Like
yeah.
even
At the
now
very
we're looking
least, an
at him
A,
going
but
like this
yeah,
guy will probably be an A in a few years, like
yeah,
at most kind of thing.
hmm,
Just depending on the turnover on this team.
yeah.
Um, yeah, do you want to kind of almost have him work on that in a way,
That's a very good
right?
point.
Like
Yeah. Um, just kind of going along in the same vein as that, slightly off of the whole leadership thing, but let's imagine that. And I know this is going to be absolutely wild, and it might not be possible to do, especially if you're a newer fan. But let's imagine that the Ducks are in a playoff spot right now. We'll just say wild card. Um, if the Ducks are in the playoff spot, McTavish would obviously be, or is obviously, an important part of this team right now, even when they are down at the bottom of the standings. But in a wild card spot where every game still matters, McTavish is depth scoring. He is power play. I guess he's not penalty kill, but he's being trusted with important minutes. Not a ton of minutes. Generally, he's been getting around 15, which is not bad. Um, but generally, he would be an important part to this team. So you willingly give up Mason McTavish for a month when the Ducks are in a wild card spot. That hurts your team,
yeah, that's
right?
no, like, yeah, and that's a case where I'm just saying no because he is a guy that's contributing, and let's be honest, would be contributing more, I think, if he was given
Yeah,
more minutes like this game against Minnesota.
yeah, probably. So in that scenario, it's not even a question of sending McTavish to the World Juniors to get that experience because he's a big part of the team. So even so, now put the Ducks back down to that 32nd spot. Um,
Mhm.
yes, if we lose games, who cares? We can't get any lower in the standings.
Yeah.
But McTavish is an integral part to this team at this point, and he's obviously contributing. So why should the placement in the standings dictate where he plays for the next month? That's is kind of where I'm thinking.
Yeah.
If that
I,
makes sense. Yeah. Like, you do have to take into account the standings, but like, if if the Ducks were in a wild card spot and McTavish is as integral to that as he is currently when the Ducks are 32nd, that means that he is more valuable in the NHL and getting valuable experiences in the NHL. So why send him to somewhere where he will get a less valuable experience?
And that I would agree with.
Yeah. So
that's it's more where they are in the standings right now, and it's okay. What would be more valuable? Kind of thing. So because
do you really want this team playing worse though? Like, yes, we can't get lower in the standings, but we can play a lot worse. You get rid of McTavish willingly, especially when Lundestrom is now out and this third center spot is ripe for the picking. Do you really just say, oh, hey, we've got a 3C wide open? Hey, McTavish, how about we send you to Canada for the next... or no, the tournament's in Europe, is it not? Where's the tournament this year? I don't even remember. Doesn't matter. Sending you to play with Team Canada for the next month.
I thought it was on the East Coast.
Yeah, I don't remember. But I don't know. It just seems... it just seems weird. Like, he's going to... Yes, he'll have a top 6 role in Team Canada, but who's going to fill that 3C spot with Lundestrom now out for the duration of this World Junior Tournament plus? Sam Carrick? Like, yeah, sure, but then who fills that 8th spot? Right? Like, it's the opportunity is literally right here already for him.
No, you call somebody like why can't I remember his name off the top of my head here? One of the guys from the AHL. We just signed
Braden Tracy, Chase DeLeo.
No, not who I'm thinking. We had him up for a few games. We just signed him this season. He was a Flames prospect for
Glenn Godden.
Thank you. Yeah. Godden is their third line replacement there for the time being, I think.
If you send McTavish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That the tournament is in Halifax and Moncton.
Oh, okay.
So
gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think because Lundestrom is out now and that opportunity is just wide open for him, like, why would you send him? Because then you have to call up Glenn Godden, and then your bottom 6 centers are Sam Carrick and Glenn Godden, and that is not probably what you want to be running. But McTavish has earned a spot at the 3C role, but you also don't want to take that away from Lundestrom. Now that he's out, it's like, okay, we can give you this 3C role that you have deserved and we've wanted to give you, but without hurting Lundestrom's development and his feelings, right? Yeah, I don't know. Now, the more I think about it, the more I like come up with more reasons he should stay in the NHL. Like, there is obviously reasons to send him for Team Canada, but I don't know. I don't know what is more valuable, I guess, to a GM, right?
I feel like it depends. What do you... I think it comes down to what does Pat Verbeek and even Mason McTavish think is more important to develop right at this second, I guess. Is it more of that mental side?
Yeah.
Right? Of your leadership qualities and
just general confidence.
Yeah, general confidence, mental preparedness, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Or is it the skill, right, in all areas because the jump skill wise of the NHL to juniors is very different.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what it comes down to, is what right at this moment or like over the course of this season.
Yeah.
Let alone for just like the month that he'd be gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
What could use a little bit more attention to, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
so
for sure.
I think that's kind of what determines it, at least for me.
Yeah.
So
no, yeah, I agree. I think personally, if it was up to me, if I could, whatever I said went, I think I would keep McTavish in the NHL in that 3C role, and see what he can do with it. before this conversation, I was full send him to the World Juniors
Yeah.
because it'll build his confidence. He'll get that leadership quality, like all
But yeah,
of these
just as
things.
we kind of talk about it,
It makes more sense now, I think, to keep him here. I don't know. Do you agree? Is that kind of where you're at now, or
I think it just puts me more on the fence.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I'm just at the point of like, and I feel like I would even have to like sit with this to think about it for a second, like if I were in like the McTavish or Verbeek camp and like, I don't know, maybe like over the next couple of games, like I'll try to watch like McTavish specifically a little bit more and see. I mean, obviously we can really only see like so much of the talent aspect of it, like the skill, right? Compared to the mental aspect. But yeah, just kind of see like, okay, like does the seam, and I think like we do see like the skill being there, which is what kind of leads me to maybe go a little bit more towards the World Juniors right now, just for the mental aspect of it.
Yeah.
That, like I said, would be beneficial for the long run, right? Because sure, the weather's in California is great and everything like that, right? But to just constantly be losing at a impressionable time in your career, right, could be potentially detrimental.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I don't know if anyone else has other ideas or of things that we haven't even thought of for this decision, or just in general, you can let us know your comments as well down in the on the YouTube page, or DM us on Twitter at Quack Report Pod, as we plugged in the beginning of the show. But I think for now we can move on to a few other topics for the end of the episode here. Let's we teased it again, and I had to stop you from talking about it. But we
oh great, now I can talk about Binnington. Yes.
So we're just going to make sure that everybody else here has a little bit of context for everything we're going to say here. So this is from sorry, let me just make it so that we don't see ads. There it is. And we'll share it with everybody who is watching. This is from last night when Pittsburgh was in St. Louis. So watch Jason Zucker here as he's
we gotta describe the play if you remember.
Yeah. So can you hear the audio?
Yeah, we can hear it.
Okay.
Pretty hard
So
there. Nobody saw it.
Jason probably
now they do. Now they are pointing.
Probably should make it so that we don't.
Anyways,
they'll show a better replay of it here, but
yeah. So just to kind of describe it for everybody that's just listening, but if you do want to, watch what we're watching, you can find us on YouTube at Quack Report Pod as well. So Jordan Binnington stops the puck behind the net and leaves it for his guy coming through. And as he does, he's being chased by who is that again for Pittsburgh?
Jason Zucker.
Jason Zucker, right? Yeah. And Binnington sticks out his glove hand and
and clotheslines him essentially.
Yeah,
gets him right in the nose.
Yeah, with the backhand of his glove right to the face.
Yeah,
which causes Zucker to no shit.
Look at this.
Leave his feet and go crashing into the boards because the dude is probably skating at 25K an hour, whatever that is in miles.
Yeah.
Anyway, the guy's going
decent
fast,
speed,
and just suddenly had the back of a hand get smacked into him at high speeds. So I did see a couple of comments on Twitter of oh yeah, the guy just they were saying Zucker should have had embellishment for diving. And everybody with a brain is going, what the fuck? You have clearly never been on the ice or never gotten hit. And like Binnington, you probably should be hit.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I don't have a clip of this either, but literally 2 nights, the game before,
with Eric Stahl
attempts to lay a hit on Eric Stahl in the same situation. Binnington comes out to play the puck. Stahl is going to make a play on the guy that he dishes it to. Binnington lowers his shoulder and gets absolutely fucking run over. But
before you share this, I did share this on my personal Twitter account, just with capitals all the whole way through, just ha 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 ha, just laughing at it. Because again, this is him trying to be a big dog.
Yeah.
You're stepping up on Jordan Stahl? How fucking dense are you, dude?
Yeah, like what do you think's gonna happen?
Like even like the other big guys in the league, like Ryan Reeves, are not looking to do that. Jordan Stahl is a massive human being, let alone a massive hockey player.
As I once said about you, he is built like a brick shithouse.
In a more athletic way.
Yeah.
Here, let me find his stuff here really quickly. Let's see what's he listed at right now. Currently listed at 6'4", 220. But I think I had heard somewhere else that it's probably closer to like 240, 250-ish.
Oh yeah.
Like
he's a big boy.
Big dude.
Yeah.
Right? So, like this is not somebody that Jordan Binnington, who, you know what, let's double check what Binnington is here. Even just with like the listed, okay? So what do we say? Stahl 6'4", 220.
Yeah.
Binnington 6'2", 172. This
Soaking
guy has
wet
50 pounds on you, dude.
Yeah.
And you're already at a disadvantage wearing goalie gear that is clunky as hell compared to player gear.
And probably hasn't thrown a hit since Pee Wee, if then, right? Like, what's it been like 15, 20 years? So, but anyways, before we get more into Jordan Binnington, I've got to share this clip of this is following being clotheslined by Jordan Binnington. Jason Zucker, he is the guy in the slot here, rips it past Jordan Binnington to make it 4-1 Pittsburgh. And if we fast forward through this, Binnington gets the old yank.
Yeah.
Gets the chain.
So Binnington gets called, and
what's going on here? Sorry.
Okay, no, hold on. Okay, you actually don't see that, but I will tell you what happens. Because there's another view of it. So just really quickly. So rewind it a little bit more here. Because Binnington gets pulled and he has to okay, rewind it.
Okay,
we'll get to that.
Okay.
So Binnington gets pulled, and as he is skating past the Pittsburgh bench, he starts chirping at the bench to Zucker, who is on the bench.
Of course, hey.
Right? So like again, he's gotta like the getting pulled and it's just going on. Dude, you already look like a piece of shit and you're just digging yourself even more into a hole. Yeah. The only people at this point who like Binnington, I guess, like outside of him just being a goalie, are St. Louis Blues fans.
And even then, I don't know, because
even then you got fans at this point, like some are, still throwing like the dive thing out there on Zucker, which again, you've clearly never been on skates or played just a sport. I'm not even going to say professional sports because I haven't played professionally either. You've just never played sports at a level to understand, like, fuck, whatever. But yeah, so at this point, even Craig Berube, the coach of the St. Louis Blues, was asked about, Binnington's antics. And that
he wasn't even really asked. He kind of just brought it up more so. And then when the reporter like poked for a little more information, because he was like, is there something there? Like is when he said this, but he kind of brought it up on his own.
So Berube was quoted as saying, "It's got to stop. It doesn't help anything. Just play goal, stop the puck."
Yeah.
Like your coach is telling you, hey, fucking knock it off. So I'm really going to be watching the St. Louis Blues now over the next 2 weeks, and Jordan Binnington in particular, to see if he knocks it off. Right. And
you kind of have to at that point. Otherwise,
knowing Binnington, right, who, like, you know what, to a point, I kind of get it, right? The guy's always had a chip on his shoulder, right? And
has to play hard and work for everything that he's had to do. Yeah.
And like, and it's not to say that, it's fine, you made it, like, you're fine, right? Like, because we've seen guys go from great, slack off, and are gone like pretty quickly, right? This is professional sport. It's a business at the end of the day, right? You're in the business to win. So, I mean, we even saw it last year with Ville Husso, right? Binnington lost a lot of starts that he would have had to Husso because Husso was playing better, right?
Yeah.
So I understand the chip on your shoulder mentality, but like, you don't need to be doing stuff like this. I 100% agree with Berube, and I'm coming from like a goalie, like just as a goalie, even just play your fucking position, dude. there's a time and a
Then you can't even do
place-
that because it's 4-1.
Yeah, exactly.
Like at the beginning of the second period, like Christ.
Like there's a time and a place for not to backhand somebody at like 30K an hour kind of thing, right? But
Yeah.
like there's a time and a place though to like maybe like try to step up on a guy in the case of like the Jordan Stahl thing. That's a bad example of a guy not to do it on.
Yeah, he
right?
picked the wrong guy,
But like,
right? Yeah.
like there's a time and a place to do it, right? And it's not as often as Jordan Bennington makes it out to be. And he costs himself and his team for it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Right. So yeah, just again, somebody please give Bennington what he deserves, because at this point, like the amount of stuff that he's done of like fake punches and whatever, it's like, yeah, nobody would be upset. At this point, people would thank whoever clocked the ever living fuck out of Jordan Bennington.
Oh yeah.
Seriously. So, which
Yeah.
I tweeted that out as well. And fellow Flames Twitter person, I'll just leave it at that, actually. I normally would, but I, for the sake of job, had said, well, St. Louis is going to be in Calgary. Lucic or Zadorov, maybe. And I'm like, okay, because we've seen Lucic run at a goalie before in Ryan Miller when he was back in Buffalo still.
That's right. Yeah.
And
Ducks legend Ryan Miller.
I don't know if you've seen Nikita Zadorov when he throws a hit that doesn't take him out of position, which he's done a lot better with for the Calgary Flames this season. He fucking laid a gorgeous hit last night, open ice, against Washington. Anyway, but yeah, if as a fan and a goalie is when I'm normally like, don't like leave the goalie alone kind of thing, right? Like this is the one case where I'm just like, somebody fucking hit him.
Yeah,
somebody do it. Somebody take the heat.
Yeah.
Right? Like this is the type of thing that people would set up a GoFundMe for whatever player gets fined and suspended for this action.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Right?
For
and
just
like
fucking rattling
and players around the league, I'm sure, would even contribute to it. It's not just going to be fans of the league and different teams.
For sure.
It's going to be like, you know, Jason Zucker's probably would donate like a few $100 to it or something.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like just somebody just needs to put this guy in his place, or he's just going to keep doing it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
so
just because it started with the Jordan Stahl thing.
Sorry, really quickly.
Yeah.
There are visual learners, there are auditory learners, and there are kinesthetic learners, right? So your auditory is like you can hear it. I think we've kind of talked about this before, actually. I forget what it was about. Your auditory listeners are the people that like listen to something and like understand it, and like that's how they learn, right? Your visuals, right, are the people that see it and learn that way. And your kinesthetic are the people that do and learn that way, right? Bennington is clearly a kinesthetic learner because he has been told, like, hey, quit doing that, right? By not like, I mean, his coach now, but other people,
his coach not publicly.
Yeah, his coach not publicly, but like other people around the league and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think you can go back and find a lot of stuff of guys who pulled this type of stuff, right? And get their asses handed to them eventually. Right? So there's the visual. And I'm sure that, like, again, there's plenty of examples out there that you could find.
Yeah.
Clearly, Jordan Bennington is a kinesthetic learner because he has not actually had it fucking happen to him yet.
Yeah. He will not learn until he gets punched in the face.
Exactly. And again, you know what? Let's go outside of the Anaheim Ducks. If any team wants to hire me and put me in as an e-bug just to give him the fight that he wants, not even to kick his ass. And even then, like we're talking about like the Stahl to Bennington for like just weight alone. Sure, I'm 5'7". I'm not the 6'2" that Bennington is. I even still got 50 pounds on the guy though.
Yeah,
I will do it for the jersey that I would wear that day with my name on the back. I will do it just for that, and flights and accommodation. I will
Of
do
course,
it just
yeah.
for that, though. All right. If any NHL team wants this done, hit me up. My DMs are open.
Uh,
Because
So-
like just somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
Please, just somebody's got to do
yeah,
it.
yeah. So from him attempting to hit Eric Stahl, which, you know what? Fine. If you're a goalie and you go behind the net and you want to make a play for your team to give the guy space, and you want to try and throw a little body, you know what? Sure. Fine. If that's what you want to do and that's the position you want to put yourself in, sure. For Jordan Binnington, you know what? You got knocked down. Yeah, you picked the wrong guy to try that against. Sucks to be you. It happens. But then to go in the next game, and the lesson that you take away from, I got laid out by a Jordan Stahl when I attempted to make a hit on him, and you know what? It's honestly probably kind of embarrassing for him. Then for his next decision, instead of, okay, maybe I'll pick a smaller target to try this against, his next decision is to pull a little bitch move and stick his glove out to clothesline the guy to make space for his player to take the puck. Like, that's just wild to me. And then...
And sorry, hold on a second.
For
Jason Zucker is 5'11", 192.
So could have just laid the body on that guy. Like that one might, if you tried to stand him up and you know it took a little bit of a more power stance, you might have been okay on that one. But then, and you know what? Honestly, you should be embarrassed about that too. And then for phase 3 of this, then to get pulled after Jason Zucker beats you for 4-1 after what is essentially one period. That's embarrassing.
And then to add insult to injury, you keep looking like a little bitch and start chirping the other team as you are getting pulled.
Like, just learn to cut your losses, right?
Yeah.
But so for that is we don't have a video clip for it, but that is a little dick energy move right there. Everybody, but
where's the sad trumpet horns?
Yeah, just yeah, that's for Jordan Binnington right there. But then in the case of Jason Zucker, after getting cheap shotted by some little bitch, to then go out and do this and just embarrass him.
Yeah, to score on it
for 4 goals in.
So I don't know
in
if
22 minutes. That right there, that big energy move. That's for you, Jason.
Okay, play it the second time because I have the third one actually.
Okay, a big energy move.
So I don't know if it's in that clip there, but I did see it that as he passes, there was a camera on Jason Zucker, who kind of gives him like the shoulder shrugs, like, "What?"
Yeah, I think
like kind of makes a face to him of like dude, like come on.
Yeah, I think in the
he's on the
I think
bench
in this one you can kind of as he's skating off, you mean?
Yeah, it's as he's skating off. Like,
okay,
Zucker is back on the bench.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like, dude, what? It's somewhere in there. And again, I will explain this part here too.
Yeah.
I
think is it maybe?
No, it's
no,
it's like they pulled it up after the fact kind of thing.
Oh yeah, I think in this part,
this might
show
be it here.
right
So
there.
Bennington's like chirping off at the bench. Yeah, there you go. It's just like, what?
Can we make that a meme? Is that something? It's got potential there.
Or it's got to be a GIF. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So okay, so you might be able to. I don't know if.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So by the way, his chirping after the fact also got Binnington a 10-minute misconduct.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I see that up here in the title. But yeah, is this what?
Yeah. I think he got 2 for unsportsmanlike. And
here we go.
10-minute misconduct. Yeah. So then add insult to injury just for the team as a whole, right? Because they're already embarrassed enough, and then you have something like just stupid like this, which like everybody gets to laugh at. I'm sure Grice was even. So Thomas Grice is heading to the net after, right? Like as Binnington is getting told, "Hey, get the fuck out of here." Grice goes to stop in the crease and hits an edge and just eats the crossbar.
Oh, man.
Like as nobody is looking, and everyone's like, "What the fuck
Yeah.
happened?"
The e-bug was like this close to being like, oh shit, I guess I'm going in since 10-minute misconduct and broken jaw maybe for Grice. Like,
Yeah,
That's-
for
that was
for
almost a
for
string of
12
unfortunate
for
events that
12
led
minute
to someone.
duration, the e-bug was almost in.
Yeah, so that's good.
Oh.
But
But it's like poor Grice on that, right?
Oh,
Like just
yeah.
to add to all of it.
well,
But
welcome to the game.
yeah.
So
I know there was a lot of people like that clip was getting shared around Twitter, and a lot of people just right away thought it was Jordan Binnington. So they're
Yeah.
like, that fucking serves him right. But
No.
yeah, the other people in the chat like, no, that was Thomas Grice after Binnington got pulled.
Yeah, at this point, it's like the St. Louis circus has
Yeah.
taken over for the Blues. But
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, longer big dick energy move or big duck, big quack energy move segment, for this one, but with a little bit of a Nate rant in there as well. So you combined two segments and for that one. But yeah, let's get into the upcoming game for the first half of this week. Tuesday against Carolina, 8 p.m. Pacific time, start of a homestand for the Anaheim Ducks. Sorry, I just went to pull up some stats for this game and just saw that the Stars managed to almost make it a comeback against the Wild. They were down 5-1 at one point, remember. 6-5 final for the Wild in the show.
Damn.
So, yeah. Anyways, not super
The Stars
important.
with 4 goals in the third. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So, yeah, start of a homestand for the Anaheim Ducks here against a tough opponent in the Carolina Hurricanes. Yeah, it'll be just a brief 2-game homestand. Carolina on Tuesday, San Jose on Friday before they hit the road again.
Yeah.
But yeah, for Carolina, this will be their only game between December 3rd and December 10th. So they play
That's
one
interesting.
game in a 7-game span. And it is against
That's
Anaheim.
very odd scheduling.
Yeah, right? Especially for the beginning of December.
Yeah. Weird.
Like, it's because it's not a bye week.
Were they supposed to play Nashville at any point? Did not?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
And again, I only brought up Nashville just because of the arena flooding. But like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's really odd scheduling.
Yeah, so they
Huh.
played Saturday against LA. And then they play Anaheim on Tuesday. And then
Which
they play
normally
the
that's a back-
Islanders on next Saturday.
All right. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, the game before LA, where were they?
St. Louis.
Okay,
This
it
road
makes
trip for them, the 6-game road trip went Pittsburgh, St. Louis, LA, Anaheim, New York Islanders, and then Detroit. And then they're back home. Which I guess the Islanders and Detroit is like, they're in their division, are they not?
The Islanders are.
Yeah, the Islanders are, but Detroit is
Is
not. But it's fairly close. I feel like all those teams are
That's
right in there.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's
just a
weird.
weird road trip going east, west for 2 games and then back east, or 3 games, I guess, and then back east. Like you don't even hit San Jose when
Back
you're...
east and then back west from New York to Detroit.
Yeah, I guess technically, yeah, central. But yeah, it's just weird for them,
Really
like
weird,
that
yeah.
they don't hit San Jose in there. Like, is San Jose even at home? Like, what are they doing? Why can't they play San Jose if they're all the way out here?
Yeah, I don't
Like,
know.
Okay, yeah. So San Jose is just wrapping up a road trip tonight in Buffalo, and then they're back home against Vancouver on Wednesday. But I don't know. It's just
Yes, he plays San Jose on the Wednesday. What?
yeah.
Or on,
Instead of Vancouver,
on Thursday or something, right? Like
yeah, like you could make that work, especially when there's that many days in between.
yeah,
right? Like,
that's weird.
like having
A lot
2
of
days
weird
off
schedule
between.
stuff this season.
Yeah, 2 days off between LA and Anaheim. That's weird. And then 3 days off back to the island, like or back to New York or to New York to the island. Like that one kind of makes sense since that's a lot of travel.
Yeah,
And
like don't get me
especially-
wrong, I'm sure they're okay with it because of the amount of travel they have to do, but
Yeah.
just like the actual setting up of hey, like this is like the way this road trip's gonna go. That's really odd.
Yeah,
So-
it's just weird all
Yeah.
around. But
Anyways.
anyways, we will be facing a well-rested Carolina team that can give it all they've got because then they have time to rest afterwards.
Yeah, so that Carolina team, as of Sunday at just after 3 Pacific, 7th in the league standings, second in the Metropolitan Division, 14-6-5 record on the season. And their their last 10, 5-1-4. So they've gotten points in 9 of their last 10 games. And their road record 9-3-4 on the season.
Damn, yeah, they're doing fine.
Currently in the middle of a 4-game winning streak.
Wow, yeah. So
yikes.
I mean, one, I suppose outlook for this game that could, make it interesting is Freddie Anderson is out, but then you look at Antti Ranta as the backup and Peter Kochetkov, I think is how it's said. Peter Kochetkov is backing up, and he's
been doing all right.
He's apparently the real deal and just stuck behind a couple other decent veteran goalies. Like, he's looking real good.
Is it stuck behind the goalies or their contracts?
Well, yeah.
Kind of, probably a mix of both.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of curious now. I'm checking cap friendly.
Mm-hmm. And so, and then the rest of Carolina is as expected. So remember, well, actually, yeah, I'll wait till you find their goalies here before we go through the rest of the roster, but it's not looking good for Anaheim Ducks fans.
Yeah. So Antti Ranta is on the last year of his contract, making $2 million. That's actually not a horrible deal, to be honest with you. At 33, even at this point. And who was
Freddie Anderson.
Freddie Anderson is in the last year. The last year of a $4.5 million deal.
Okay.
So yeah, I think he's just kind of stuck between that. Kochetkov, who it looks like he'll be the goalie of the future, at least for this club, because next year kicks in his contract extension, which is a 3-year deal at 4-year deal, at $2 million.
Okay, yeah. No, so he's definitely taken one of the jobs of Anderson and Ranta, depending on who they decide to keep there. But probably Anderson. I mean, potentially they could move on from both too, but he's going to have a job as
one of the Carolina goalies. Yeah, absolutely.
Looking at the forwards, they currently are missing Max Pacioretty on IR and Andre Kasha, former Duck there. Shout out to him. Pacioretty. Oh yes, as of August, he was out 6 months. So he'll continue to be out, and
and they're also missing Jake Gardner
on the back end there. Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, their forwards are still like just absolutely out of this world. Like when Andrei Svechnikov and Toivo Teravainen are your second line wingers, centered by Jesperi Kotkaniemi, I think you're doing something okay. Jordan Staal is your third line center. Paul Stastny is your fourth. Like, what the fuck is going? Like, well, it's just nuts. Just like some of the guys they have. Jordan
Staal with Jordan Martinook and Jesper Fast.
Yeah, and that's your third line. That's a second line on most other NHL teams, and probably a first line on the Ducks. Or close. Well, no, it'd still be a second line on the Ducks because Zegras and Terry. But for those curious, Aho centers Seth Jarvis and Martin Necas on the top line there. So like it's just nuts. And not to mention they picked up Brent Burns in the offseason, in case you forgot about that.
Yeah.
On the back end there. So having him paired with Jacob Slavin is just disgusting. Like, it's not even fair. Like, how can the Ducks ice the team that they ice this year, and Carolina gets this? And then you're like, okay, now play a game of hockey. Like, what? Is this not just like when the dads go up against like the Timbits hockey, and the score is 15-14, but their goaltender is 50 years old and has like a broken hip, and the dads are only coasting around because if they go any faster, they'll bowl over their kids, or they'll like, collapse from a heart attack. Like, but it's like, it's not even fair.
Yeah. It's I don't even know how to describe it, except I'm just gonna give my score prediction. I think.
Yeah. What do you got?
I'm gonna go 5-1 in favor of Carolina. That's
Yeah.
not even a slight on the Ducks.
Seems fair.
Slightly, a slight, but yeah, no, just seeing what Dallas did, even to this team.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carolina is gonna just like toy with their food.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna say 4-1 just because I think you're close there. So,
However, I do want to see a Michigan battle between Svechnikov and Zegras.
Yeah. You know what? If this game goes to a shootout, eliminate all rules for the shootout and just make it Michigan contest.
Exactly.
Yeah. Best. Yeah. Same like 3-round format.
Not executed. Yeah.
Yeah. You can even have like a chaser as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you start Zegras and Svechnikov at the blue line, other guy at the red line. They got to go in and in motion do the.
Those two chase each other. You just leave it to them.
There you go. Yeah, and then the other guy has to try and defend and knock it down. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm not showing here, but I think if I remember correctly here, I think we might have our first green of the season. So Dallas was 5-0. Sorry, 5-0 Dallas here. Minnesota, that one was 5-4 in favor of Mini. Did this Winnipeg game not end 5-2? Or was it 4-2?
It did end 5-2. Which again, we will talk about this game on Wednesday.
Yeah, but boom, there it is.
You gotta win.
Congratulations. The Ducks may have lost, but Nate has correctly predicted the score. He's figured it out.
Thank you. I'll be here on your streaming platforms as long as you want to listen to me.
Yeah, which means, you know what? 5-1. Now you figured it out now. 5-1 Carolina. You heard it here first, everybody. Put your money down. DraftKings Sportsbook, promo code THPN.
Oh.
So that's yeah, nicely done. But that is where our score predictions sit at. Nate is the first one to get both here. And yeah, 18 for 26 on the season in terms of predicting the team. And again, I went on a stream predicting Anaheim until they won. But yeah, that's where we're at. So yeah. Okay. We have a What's Quackin' segment, a bonus one here. I believe that we don't have anything else, right?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. No.
Okay, then let's do that.
Yeah, so just before we get into this What's Quacking, or What's Quacking? Quacking actually does sound really odd.
Yeah, why would you do that?
I am going to throw a trigger warning here just for suicide as a whole. So if this is the end for you on this episode, thank you very much for listening. Carter's on Twitter at Carter_Pods97. I'm at Tate Namas, shows at Quack Report Pod. But if you are going to stick around for this, so yeah, just a trigger warning for suicide and that kind of thing. And before we get into this, I'm just going to say if you are in a moment of crisis, struggling to understand or cope with suicidal thoughts, or are genuinely worried about someone else as well, you can contact Mental Health America by calling 1-800-985-5990. Text Talk With Us to 66746 or visit mhnational.org if you are in the United States. And if you're in Canada, you can contact Talk Suicide Canada by calling 1-833-456-4566, texting to 45654 from 4 p.m. to midnight Eastern, or visit talksuicide.ca. Again, that's in Canada. All of those numbers in that, we'll have Carter put it in the description for you all as well. If you don't feel comfortable with either option, though, we still strongly urge you to reach out to someone that you can trust. That could be a family member, friend, coworker, just whoever. So, yeah, so just to put that out there for everybody as well. So, yeah, so shout out to the Brandon Wheat Kings. We were talking about junior hockey earlier here, and yeah, Brandon Wheat Kings out of Manitoba there, specifically to for their players, Calder Anderson, Nolan Ritchie, Jake Chason, and Ben Thornton. who were driving across one of the bridges in Brandon. This was on Tuesday night. I think we just missed it with the Wednesday stuff going on. When they had noticed a man standing at the side of a bridge. They pulled a U-turn, flipped around, and I do have the article here actually, which people can find as well on the Brandon Wheat Kings website. Yeah, so they made the U-turn and stopped closer to him than they were, but we're still a good amount away.
I think it said they were on like the opposite side of
at first,
bridge.
yeah, and then so Anderson had rolled down his window to ask the man if he was okay, and then stepped out of the car, just being cautious and whatnot. Jason called 911 to summon emergency responders, and they just talked to the guy, right? Asked him if he was okay. The guy said that he wasn't having some great thoughts, and they were there for the guy, and emergency services did show up. And with the help of these 4 young men from the Wheat Kings, they were able to talk this man down actually, and he came off the edge of the bridge there. One of the police sergeants in Brandon did describe the man as a vulnerable person in the community. Has said that the man has underwent treatment now since and seems to be doing better at least. So, there's a paragraph here that does say, ironically, the team's leadership group, which includes Richie, Chason, and Anderson, was actually brought into the coach's office earlier that morning and urged to do just things the right way. So their head coach and GM, Marty Murray, suggested that it said a lot about the 4 players, that they were the ones who, stopped and lended a hand and that kind of thing. So, great people, these 4 guys. And just wanted to give a shout out to them for this What's Quacking. So that was an amazing thing that he did. And I can't imagine how long that guy might have been standing there for. And in that time, how many people drove past, right? So that's not to shame those people that did drive past, right? That's just, more so that these are the guys that like noticed that something might be up, right?
And did something about it.
And did something about it. So shout out to these guys. Nothing but respect for them now. And again, if I get to that game against or that's Regina against Brandon here as well, right? I will definitely be watching these guys for sure. So they are great hockey players and seemingly even better people. So just wanted to shout these guys out to wrap up the show. So
it's deserving because I think it's important to just talk about that kind of stuff and like make not even just like praise people when they do it, but just like make it aware that people do this kind of thing, so that hopefully nobody comes across somebody in this state. Like, but unfortunately, it is an inevitable thing that some people are in those.
It's something that happens in life.
Dark places. Very unfortunately, but if these people don't stop, then like to try and help them out, then things could end up very differently. And these people most times do actually have people that care about them, and they just, for whatever reason, no fault of their own, of course, don't recognize that or don't feel that. But then when they are gone, that's when you know what I'm trying to say? Like, when they are gone, the people that do care about them are obviously devastated about it. And so when people do stop and show, hey, we do care about you, there is somebody out there, and then it saves pain for other people as well. So is what I'm trying to say. But so very good on these players, and hope that they do well in the future, and that the guy that they talk down continues to get the help he needs as well. So,
and does a lot better as well. So hopefully a long future ahead of him still too. So because it did say he was about 25 to 30, so like kind of our age, right? So,
and obviously very young still. So and
if I'm not mistaken, that's a large like because we get to see like kind of some of the numbers for like ages and that like
Mhm.
people listen to us. Like
Yeah.
it's a large chunk of our viewing audience as well, right? So
Yeah, it's males between that
can
age
happen.
demographic. Yeah.
Yeah, it can happen to anybody. So
Yeah.
just keep out for one another. So
Yeah, absolutely. Last thing that I want to say about this, and it's totally not related to the situation as a whole, but Anderson, Richie, Chason, and Thornton, are those not the most hockey player names that you've ever heard?
Yeah, 100%.
Even their first names. Calder Anderson. Okay, you're named after a trophy. Nolan Richie, like, yeah, of course you play hockey. Jake Chason, of course you play hockey too. And then
Thornton.
Ben Thornton, like just single syllable name Thornton, Joe Thornton. And then, didn't he have a brother too that played?
I'm not sure offhand.
I feel like he did, and then it was another one of those just like basic ass white dude names, you know? I know Elite Prospects is good about having like the player relationships. So
yeah,
Joe Thornton from Elite Prospect here.
Basically, just like if your parents were possibly into hockey at all, you might have a hockey name.
yeah, exactly.
Our poor kids, if we have them.
Yeah. Right. Sorry, why is your kid named Troy Trevor Thomas? Okay, yeah. So, Joe Thornton had cousins named Cody and Scott Thornton. I don't know.
I think Thornton is like just a common name.
It is just a common name, yeah. So it's possible they weren't related, but Scott Thornton did play in the NHL for a good chunk from like 93 to 2008. Actually, quite a few games. Elite Prospect. Does it not show total NHL games? Oh no, I just got to scroll more. 941 NHL games. Scott Thornton in the NHL. Damn. So yeah. Oh, you know, now that I see if you saw a picture of him, you'd be like, oh yeah, that guy. Played with the LA Kings in like the era of the black jersey with the purple shoulder yoke, and just has like the it's not even like the soul patch, but just like the single strip beard. Yeah, I just got to show you because it's fantastic here. And share it for everybody who is also watching. But yeah, just zoom in on. Oh, yeah. Like you've seen this guy before, and like with the single 100%. Strip beard.
Look at those soul patch.
Yeah, it's like a soul patch beard. It's wild.
Remember a few years ago, my uncle had one of those, like long enough that he braided it and he put a bead in it.
That's funny.
My uncle Mike, you've met him before.
Yeah. That's good. Okay. Yeah. With that, and ending on a slightly lighter note there, but again, if you are in need of assistance, mental health wise, all of the numbers that Nate read off before will be down in the description of this episode. So if you are comfortable reaching out to those lines there, then those opportunities are down there for you. And then also, if you want to reach out to us for any reason, personal mental health wise or not, because you're comfortable with it, or just for hockey in general, or random bullshit in general too, at Quack Report Pod is where you can do that. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. Again, we live stream on the latter two there at 7 p.m. Pacific time on Wednesdays, and you can interact with us through the chat there, and it's a blast. Nate, if people want to reach you,
if people want to talk shit about Jordan Binnington with me, you can tweet me at Tate Nomas, TateNhomas, and if you're up to it, you can even tag Jordan Binnington in that. I don't know what his Twitter handle is offhand. I will find it in the quick duration that Carter is telling you what to do.
Sounds good.
But just you can let him know as well that, one, you're thinking of him. He'll probably go, oh, rent free. But two, you think he's a little bitch.
That was funny. Like we've literally talked for over 2 hours, and I couldn't think of one thing that we had talked about that I could say. If you want to talk to Nate about this, you can do it here. Yeah, and then myself.
Gordon Binnington is at
okay.
BINNNASTY.
BINNN, 3 N's.
3 N's. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. What is it? BINNN.
ASTY.
ASTY.
Bin Asti. Like bin.
Oh, like Biz Nasty. But Bin
Still
Nasty.
Fucking unoriginal.
Come on, man. That's dumb. That's so dumb. Yeah, and then myself at not very original either, but at least it's not trying to be somebody cooler than I am. At Carter_Potts, POTTS_97 is where you can DM me on Twitter. Thank you guys very much for tuning into this episode of the Quack Report. We'll be back Wednesday or Thursday if you can't make the live stream. Thank you very much, and go Ducks go.